in Chicago, Illinois. I'm Mark Sebastian, the founder of OptionPit.com, and this is the AM Volatility Report. Reminder, none of this should be considered investment advice. This is for educational purposes only. Consult your financial professional. Let's talk about the market. Well, it's going to be a slow week. Think about what's going on right now. If you look, we got a holiday coming up. Yeah, that's right. You got the a day off for Good Friday or whatever, and so we got a 3-day weekend coming up. And typically, what we'll see is some slowness and volatility coming up. And you can see we got a little bit of both today. Weekend adjusted, I would have expected the VIX to maybe be 14.5, 1460. It's already off a little bit, all right? And the SPX is doing nothing. Probably people getting over the hangover of that University of Northern Iowa game. That UNI game was just insane, as was the Wisconsin Xavier game. That was just nuts. And so a couple of crazy finishes on Sunday leads to maybe a slower few minutes on Monday morning. I think people are getting around that. As we look across the vol space, we're noticing a couple of things. One, XLV, the ETF for pharmaceuticals, seems to have some really elevated implied volatility relative to kind of the balance of the market. And one area where vol is excessively low as we kind of chart things out is in XLP. We think vol is inexpensive there. And there's an opportunity to really take advantage of where this is trading. So that's kind of our view on the ETF space. When we look at the VIX complex itself, yeah, VIX is up a little bit today, but no surprise, the futures are down a touch. And why are the futures down a touch? Well, they got a big amount of movement cut, right? So if you look, April, even with the weekend adjustment and everything, April is down and VIX is up. They're meeting in the middle. They're now about still over 3 points away from each other. So there's some real volume and some real opportunity for the two of them to meet and greet each other, if you will. And that's not such a hot thing for them. And that's going to cause some pressure. We may see VIX get to 15 or 15.5 and the future's still down. That spread is so wide. And that's just something that traders are going to have to be aware of. And that's going to put some pressure on names like UVXY and VXX. It's going to be very difficult for them to rally even in up days on VIX with contango this steep. There is some strength in tech. You can see Apple's been on a rally. Facebook's been on a tear. And, that's really pushed those higher. AAL, which kind of sat there for a while, has now really moved. The airlines as a whole are moving up nicely. Transpo's doing much better. Oil continues to find a floor. If you look at USO, still rallying, and its vol. Its vol is getting cheap. I mean, there's obviously plenty of room for implied volatility to decline further, but we're starting to get back to where I think we might go, which is in the 20s. And so I think there's still room for volatility to back off in oil. Aside from that, as I kind of review the day, I expect things to creep higher marginally. And volatility, VIX may get itself down on the day. You may see VIX get itself back to 14. Has yet to settle with 13 handle. We're going to get that this week. However, I expect that to change next week quickly when we get a little bit of a rally and we get a pop in. When I think vol will rally and we have non-farms coming up, I expect VIX to be somewhat higher leading into that. Finally, our good friend Valeant Pharmaceuticals. Pretty spectacular what's going on there. It's actually now up. The CEO has been tossed out, and the CFO for fraud. But it looks like now that they've restated and they're going to be able to fix everything, they'll be able to manage all their covenants. You got kind of this seems to be near the end of what's going to happen in this name, at least for now. Again, not one to chase higher. Wait a day or two. This is not one I'm just going to run after, but this is one that I think may be pretty close to being played out, at least for now. There'll be more opportunities. That vol is still insane. But if I was looking for a play, it'd be more on the trading volatility than trying to pick long or short in this name. Okay, folks, if you have questions, you can email me, marketoptionpit.com. You can call me 88-TRADE-01. I want to remind everybody that we've got coming up on the April 2nd, trading calendars and diagonals. It's going to be a great course. We're going to cover a lot of neat things, and if you haven't checked it out, please do. It's going to be a great time. Also, check your emails. We put out an invite for a webinar on Wednesday. Looking forward to teaching that. Have a great morning, and I will talk to you soon.